guys, I hope you're all well. It has been forever, I know, probably about a year at least since I've sat in front of a camera and filmed a video. But lately, yeah, I've really been wanting to film. I've really been missing doing YouTube, and it's kind of the same old, but you know, life just gets in the way and things get really busy. And trust me, a lot since I've last spoken to you guys on camera, a lot has happened to me in the last year, good and bad, mainly good, thankfully, but the bad stuff was bad, and there were some really big, serious life decisions and changes that I was the only one who could make the decision to change, and I kind of just wanted to make a video to talk about it and talk about my past year and the different experiences I've had and what I've had to go through and what decisions I've had to make. So I really missed YouTube, like I've just said, and I still watch nearly every day other videos and comment and interact, but I personally have missed sitting in front of a camera filming. So excuse me if I look or sound a bit awkward at first, because like I said, it's been about a year since I last did this, so it's not the norm to me. But I'm really hoping that by making this video and getting used to sitting in front of the camera, and because of the fact that my lifestyle has changed so much, which we'll go into, I'll hopefully have more time physically and mentally to actually film. And my plan is to really go for it with my YouTube channel. My blog's had its relaunch and I've really enjoyed doing that. So I really want to put some time and love into my channel and see where it takes me, see what happens. So I guess the first thing is, this is also the first video I've ever filmed in our new house. So the last time I filmed a video, I was still living at my parents' and Steve was at his mum's, and we were waiting for our new house to be built and finished because we bought it as a new build. And now we're actually in it, and I can't believe we've been in it just over a year. We moved in at the end of July last year, so obviously it's just been over a year, and I can't believe how quick it's gone. I can't believe instantly I felt at home. Like the first night we slept here, bearing in mind we still had loads of stuff in boxes, nothing on the walls, nothing. I immediately felt comfortable, I felt safe, I felt happy, and that's how you should feel in any home that you live in. So that was really lovely, and it's just been amazing. It's been so exciting, collecting bits for the home and having to like buy furniture and think about what kind of home we want to create for ourselves and our future. So we've both thoroughly enjoyed that, and because it is a new build, basically for the first year at least, you can't really wallpaper. You can paint the walls. We've just left the majority of it white, which the builders left it the like starkest white you can get, but we've tried to add, don't know if you can see, little accessories on the wall and around the house just to give it a bit of colour. But for the first year you can't really wallpaper because the house needs to find its foundations and settle, and it moves, and you do get like the fine line cracks, which are completely normal. They basically advise that wallpaper could potentially get ripped and ruined if you put it up. So there's no point wasting money and time putting the wallpaper up if potentially it could get ruined. But now we're over the year mark, we have started putting wallpaper samples on the wall and getting an idea of the kind of feel that we want to go for. So that's all been super exciting. So that was obviously a massive life change for us in the past year, and yeah, we've really enjoyed it. It's great. It's, you know, being a homeowner, obviously having a mortgage and everything, it's the first time we've done it, and you know, it does bring a lot of responsibility. You do have to think a lot more about your finances, and you have to plan ahead, and you know, you have to, in some respects, make sacrifices. I can't just go out now and spend however much I want to on clothes or a designer handbag, but I'm okay with that. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a massive lover of all things fashion and beauty, and I love looking at things and saving up to buy stuff, but it's like my life has shifted, and my wants and my loves and my priorities now are different. I really enjoy spending money on the house, and you know, I've always wanted a house, and now we've got one and we're so grateful for it. It's nice to invest money into the house and our items in the home. So that's how I'm enjoying spending my money now, not so much on myself. So that, in another respects, is a life change, that you sort of learn priorities and what you find is more important to you depending where you're at with your life. So that's been interesting. And then the next massive thing, which if you follow me on social media, I'm always on Instagram and Twitter. Links, as always, like my blog, is below for you to come and say hi and follow me. Then you'll know already, but obviously I've not formally announced it on YouTube, that we got engaged. Steve proposed to me last year, literally 2 weeks, if that, after we moved into our house. We went away for a few days midweek to Bath, which is beautiful. It's about 2 hours from where we live, and we've never been there. And I could happily live in Bath. Stunning, absolutely beautiful. The architecture, the city itself, the valleys that surround it, like the countryside. There are so many cool things to do there. And now Bath is even more special to us because it's where Steve proposed. So basically, I'll probably do a whole separate video, maybe with Steve if he feels comfortable being on camera, I don't know. Like an engagement story video, because I love watching those on YouTube, so I'd really like to make one. Comment below if you'd like to see one from me or not. But I'll really briefly tell you, it was a complete surprise to me. He did it on the last night we were there. We were there 2 nights, I think. No, 3 nights. And it was the last night, and I had no idea. And I always thought with Steve, I would know. I thought he'd be acting really nervous or just a bit off, or I don't know, but he was completely normal. I had no idea that he'd been walking around for almost 3 days with the ring box in the back of his pocket. I didn't see it, I didn't suspect it. He didn't act like anything was going to happen. So it was a real surprise, and it was just perfect, and I was so happy, and I had like no idea. And when he opened the ring box and got down on one knee and asked me to marry him, when he opened the box and I saw the ring, I was just so gobsmacked. It's just beautiful. So I'll show you as best as I can, but excuse my nails, I'm getting them done later today, but I've been having a bit of a break from getting the nails put on. But this is my beautiful engagement ring. I don't know how well the camera will pick this up, but it's basically aquamarine set in diamonds on a platinum band with diamonds going round. It's stunning. The size and shape, the cut, everything is so me. As you all know, if you've been following me for a while, I rarely wear dainty jewellery, as you can tell. I don't know why. I know this sounds really weird. It just doesn't look right on me. Small rings, small necklaces, I don't know, they just don't suit me. I just don't look right with them on. So this ring, as classic as it is, has got quite a unique twist, but the size and the shape of it, and the fact that it has got aquamarine as well as diamonds, he knows that that's my favourite colour, that's my favourite stone. So it just meant so much that he'd put that thought into it, and I was blown away. I was a very happy, lucky girl. So that and the house within the space of 4 weeks was a pretty big deal. So there was a lot of celebrating with loved ones, there was a lot of champagne open, so it was really good fun, and I'd love to go back to that moment in time in a way. As much as I'm happy now, that was so exciting, just that moment of like the first few days of being engaged. So, but like I said, I'll do a separate video on that if that's what you want to see. So then moving on to maybe the not so good part of the last year. So again, this I don't know how much detail I'm going to go into. It's obviously very personal, and it's not easy to talk to people that I actually know in real life, like loved ones, let alone a whole community on YouTube. But I had been really unhappy in my job for so long, easily over 2 years, and I'm just very, very good at hiding things, and that can be a good thing and a very bad thing. And in these circumstances, it was a bad thing because I wasn't giving myself a chance to not only be honest with myself, but honest with those around me. So that included work and colleagues, and most importantly, my loved ones. I think people very close to me, my parents, Steve, a few of my best friends, I think they all knew something was up, but I don't think anyone had any idea how bad it actually was until I let it all out. I literally cracked one day, I crumbled, and I couldn't take it. I just could not take it. And I think 2 years of hiding that all and how I really felt, and the fact that I had been talking to someone like my doctor, and they said to me that I sounded like I was suffering from severe anxiety and severe stress, and that affected me mentally and physically. I was getting hardly any sleep because I couldn't switch off. I was constantly panicking in fear of forgetting something, not doing something right. What do people think of me? What am I going to do? What's going to happen to my life? God, so much went around my head. Really unhealthy thoughts went around my head. And it also affected me physically. Like I said, I wasn't sleeping properly. That made me very emotional. That made me very cranky. My skin was really bad. Ignore the fact that I've got a hormonal spot here right now. My skin was much worse. I was breaking out a lot. I'd put weight on due to stress. I don't think I was really looking after myself. It sounds awful, and this is all before we'd moved into our house and got engaged. But as excited as you know, I was in that moment in time, and as amazing as it is, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me, us getting engaged and getting our own house, being secretly inside so unhappy and feeling so lost definitely put a bit of a dark cloud over life. And I think, if anything, getting engaged and living with Steve again, but in our own home as opposed to renting our flat, I think it woke me up to the fact that I can't go on like this. I can't go on hiding from people how I really feel, pretending to myself that everything's okay and I'll be fine and it's just a rough patch, because it wasn't. And like I said, it's very difficult to talk about going into the actual facts and detail of it. And I definitely think it's something, if I ever want to talk about it, it's for another day, it's for another video. But all I'll say is that I've learned that living with anxiety, which I still have, and I will probably have it all my life, but you learn ways to cope with it, which I'm still in the process of doing, is tough. And I can completely relate to anyone out there watching this, or who I've been speaking to, who are like me, and I know exactly how you feel, and it's nice to know you're not alone. And I think with anxiety and depression, which is also what I'm going through, you feel really, really alone. You feel like you can't talk to anyone, regardless if they're your fiance, your mum, your best friend, a teacher, I don't know. You feel like you're just in it alone, and the best thing to do is keep your mouth shut and pretend everything's fine, but inside you're like drowning. That's how you feel. I felt suffocated. I didn't feel right at all. So I'm, to cut a long story short, and like I said, it's another story for another day, I'm much happier that I made the decision in March of this year to quit my job. I left, and I have no regrets. My regret is that it got as bad as it did, and I didn't talk about it to anyone sooner, and things possibly could have been done, but truthfully, I don't think things would have changed. I think there might have been a couple of weeks of people around me at work monitoring me and protecting me and making sure I was okay, but at the end of the day, I worked for a big company, a corporate business, and they move on like I move on, and I think it would have soon quickly been forgotten, everything that I'd gone through, and I would have slipped back into my old ways, been even more miserable, and just felt more trapped than ever. So I'm glad I made the decision, as bold and as brave. I left with nothing else sorted or anything, and thank God I had the support mentally and financially of Steve and my parents for a bit. And I took some time out. I literally spent nearly 3 months, just as like cliche and cheesy as it sounds, trying to find myself and what it was that I actually wanted to do, and how I wanted to feel, and what I wanted to do with my life. And yeah, I'm still going through that now, but I'm in so much of a happier place. I have lost nearly a stone in weight in about 10 weeks, doing Weight Watchers and exercise. But again, I want to do a separate video about Weight Watchers and my kind of diet story, because I find those really inspiring to watch and they motivate me. So it'd be quite nice to film my own story of it. And I'm sleeping, thank God. I'm actually sleeping. I am a lot more like relaxed, in the sense that I've learned so much that money is not the be all and end all, and actually what is important in life is your health, your loved ones, and the memories and experiences you build together. And out of all the bad crap that's happened, if anything, I'm just grateful for that one thing that I've been taught that, and that's quite a big life lesson to be taught. And I'm kind of glad I learnt it now rather than later when things potentially could have got a lot worse and a lot scarier, but we won't go into that. That's a bit depressing. So yeah, you know, it's been a lot going on, and now we're 7 weeks to our wedding, which, oh my God, when I say that out loud, just sounds like round the corner. And I'm so excited. Pretty much everything is done. I've got the teeniest little details to sort out, but I've enjoyed the process so much. Steve has helped, but let's be honest, most of the time, especially in my circumstances, it's the bride that plans it. Not only because I've had more time than him, but I think as a girl and as a bride, and I'm a very creative, passionate person, I just threw myself into it. Like, dear God, Pinterest has just been the biggest obsession ever, not only for house decor, but the wedding. And I've had so much fun putting together mood boards and scrapbooks and meeting suppliers with my mum and with Steve, and, you know, getting a real idea of the kind of wedding we want. And I'm so excited at everything we've got sorted, and I honestly believe it's going to be such a fabulous day. And as nervous as I'm starting to get because it's getting closer, I'm just super excited, and I can't wait to share that with you. And I definitely think I'm going to do videos, like I said, about different categories. So I'd love to do some like wedding videos, just talking about what we've done so far, how I found the planning process, giving some tips and tricks to anyone else out there planning their wedding. I'd love to do an engagement story video. I'd love to do one talking about my diet and lifestyle change with Weight Watchers and the results for that. Possibly an anxiety and depression video, but that would be the hardest one to film, so I need to think about that. Home tours and like bringing you guys with me on what we're going to do to decorate the house and where we get it from, my inspiration, how we do it, DIYs. Also like honeymoon videos, like me and Steve literally right now, like yesterday, we were in the sunshine enjoying looking through holiday brochures and honeymoon catalogues, getting ideas of where we want to go. So I'd love to do a video taking you along with us and how we plan it and what we decide on, who we book with. I've got so many ideas. I think because life has changed so much, if anything, I'm actually now more inspired to talk about things, and I'm not as in a dark place as I was, so I actually want to make the effort to film and talk. So I really hope, I'm so sorry this video has been like really rambly, but like I said, I've not filmed in a long time and so much has happened, but I was desperate to get in front of the camera and talk. So I would love to hear from you guys and know what you think, and if you're interested in the upcoming videos I've got planned, and if there's anything else you want me to film or talk about, I'm open to suggestions. And yeah, I just hope I continue on the path that I'm going, and it's not easy, and trust me, every day has its challenges for different reasons, but this is life and we all have different battles to fight, and we all get stronger because of it, and I've learnt that. And you've just got to remember that. Anyone out there who's suffering from whatever, mentally, physically, anything, you can get through it, I promise. So yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye.